Morning everyone, Catherine here and welcome back to my channel Cat v Stitches, and this is a channel about cross stitch and sometimes knitting, and it is early Monday morning. It is Monday the 11th of October. It is 7:30, which I know for some people may not be that early in the morning, but for me it's early in the morning. You'll need to excuse the mess of my hair. I dyed it yesterday because I literally could not take the grey any longer. So at the end of that process, because it took so sodding long, it got a quick dry and then it just got piled up on top of my head, which is why it now looks like this. I was supposed to get up this morning and straighten it and do something with it, and then I was like, nah, can't be bothered. So yeah, it's staying like this, and then it'll probably just get yanked back on top of my head at some point during the day when it starts annoying me. But anyway, this is not a channel about hair, so let's get on with things. For any of my returning viewers, welcome back. Hello. It is going to be another chaotic mess because I'm not used to doing these doing videos like this weekly, so sorry about that. And anybody who has just found me, I urge you to go and watch some of my proper Flosstube. They're a little bit more organised. I am not in any way, shape or form going to say professional, but they are a little bit more organised. And if you do by some chance end up liking what you see here, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Anywho, let's get on to the stitching. So since we last spoke on Monday, I have been keeping track of what I've done, and I have stitched on, it is 4 things I've stitched on, although I'm not going to show one of them because it's not really Halloween stitching, and I'll show that in my proper Flosstube towards the end of the month. But let's get on with the Halloween stitching that I have done, and I have pretty much stuck to the plan. I know, big gasp from the people who've been watching me for a while. Yeah, but let's start off. So in the first of the bags that I made myself using the Vorna Pfeiffer method with the matching, I just absolutely love these, with the matching little cat badge on there. So, okay, so this is the other thing that's, no, sorry, this is the Halloween stitching. So this is Quiltify, All Souls Vierlanden or Landen, or however it is that you pronounce that. There you go. So this was my 25/7 project until I had to stop it because I needed to get the cross stitch that I was doing for my mum finished and completed. And at the end of this month I'll probably be coming back to this, because as I've been stitching on it, I remember how much I absolutely love this project. Now this is on 28 count Sea Witch by Chromatic Alchemy. Let me get my side right. And I'm using Peacock by Mrs. Sadas, the silk, and I'm loving it. So I have done, let me just adjust myself here, I've done these 2 and that little bit there. Well, no, sorry, I'd already done that and part of this, but I've done the rest of it and all this outline, and I've done this here. So there you go. So again, absolutely loving it and absolutely loving the way the colour pops on this material. This is the one that I restarted because I'd used some hand-dyed linen that I was not happy about the way it had come out, the dyeing. So yeah, I'm very glad I restarted this, and I really love stitching on it. So this will be coming out again soon, because to be honest, I've done the 3 main ones, motifs at the top there. I've done these 3 here. So I've got, sorry, I'm not giving you the finger there. I've got just a couple big ones here, and then it's the alphabet and the little ones. So if I were to do another weekend on this in the near future and then put it back as my 25/7, I think, don't anybody hold me to this, but I think I might be able to finish this year, which I would love to have framed and up. That's what I plan to do with that. Okay, so next thing I stitched on was my stitch along. So that's the Cryptid stitch along with the Witchy stitcher. I haven't got a picture of what it all looks like at the moment because she's releasing it bit by bit, but the latest one dropped on Friday, and because it's only a wee little thing, I managed to get it done. So let me just move back a bit in my chair so I can show you this. Sorry, the cats. Oh, sorry, cats driving me insane behind me because they want feeding and they'll be fed as soon as this is finished. So, let me just get something behind this so it's not completely see-through. But hello. Sorry, I've got Amy wrapping herself around my legs here. But there you go. So that's the 5 motifs now done and the border, and this is on 28 count Valor by Pictureless Plus. So that was the latest one, the Chupacabra at the bottom there, and there's the other motifs there. So let me just give you a close-up of that latest one. So I'm pretty much sticking to the called for, apart from the, although you can't really see it in this light, but the lettering and everything is being done in black étoile, and where it calls for red, so here the eyes, and I suppose it's a bit more noticeable on Mothman and the Jersey Devil, those two different types of red are étoile as well, but for everything else it's pretty much the called for. So loving that, and that was that latest one was a start and a finish on Friday. I just mainly Friday, and then I just needed half an hour in my Zoom with Erin, 2 martini stitches, to finish the rest. So that is my Cryptid cell. So I will probably end up, I had actually given myself a weekend to work on this, and the plan was that by the end of the month I'd catch up on everything that had been dropped. But given when it drops on Friday, I just want to get started on it. That's what I'm just doing. So instead of giving myself a full weekend on it, I'm just doing Friday evenings, and that pretty much adds up to a full weekend on it. Okay, so that is the second thing I've worked on. Next thing is one of my biggest projects, and that is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, or if I put it that way so you can see it properly. And and this is by Carriage House Sampling, and I'm working on this middle, the middle one there, the 2 witches. I thought I'd get the biggest one out of the way first of all. I'm doing this on 16 count Oaken Ada. Do I regret the fabric choice? Let's just say I'm not restarting it. There's nothing wrong with the fabric. I enjoy stitching on both Ada and linen, but I think, given what I know now, because I started this one towards the start of my stitching career last year, and given what I know now, I probably would have gone for a higher count fabric, be it either Ada or linen, because this is going to be incredibly big and I still don't quite know what I'm going to do with it when it's done. But I have worked on, so this is what I've done so far, and I have worked on, I filled in the apron, the stars and the moon here, and I did this pumpkin, and I have beheaded the owlets here, but hopefully the head will come in next time I'm working on this. But yeah, that is what I've done so far. It's kind of a bit of a hodgepodge when it comes to the threads I'm using here. I'm mixing in a couple of NPIs. I have a few that is shared between this and my Halloween, Bear Mountain piece, which is by Barrick. So I've got a couple of NPIs, but I'm also using a toile. So in the flames here, I don't know if you can just see a little bit of the sparkle there. I've put some toile in there. But for everything else here, it's DMC. And I love that cat on that pumpkin. But yeah, so yeah, I got quite a bit. There's a lot of stitching in that pumpkin and that apron, so let me just fold this up. I've also done the borders on some of the others boxes there. Literally what was available in the Q-Snap. So that is the third bit of Halloween stitching I did. Now, I worked on Captains by the Happy Sloth because I went to my parents on Saturday to do some garden work for them, and my travel piece, because it's on white 14 count Ada and it's very easy for me to see without any magnification, and because it's in a tiny little Q-Snap, it's very easy for me to do without any frame or anything like that. So that's what I take when I go to my parents' house. So I did some work on that. But then the other bit of non-Halloween stitching I did, and this is purely because I'm in love with this piece and I need to carry on stitching on it, otherwise I get withdrawal symptoms, is my Amethyst by Carolyn Manning. And this is my other envelope one that I made with its own matching cat badge there, which I absolutely love. So this is on, let's see, I'm not going to be doing any editing on this, so I have absolutely not organised myself because it's far too early in the morning to do that kind of thing. And last night I was still recovering from dyeing my hair, so because that's like an hour and 45 minutes I've got it down to, from the initial mixing of the dyes to stepping out of the shower at the end of it once you've washed the conditioner off and you've dried it. That's a long process. But oh, there we go, so that's it. Sorry, Carolyn Manning Amethyst. But it's like, I'd had my hair done professionally before the lockdown all started, all nicely dyed and highlighted and whatnot. And it was a long process because I'd been box dyeing it prior to that, and using like a L'Oreal one, and you know, being sparing with it, so I'm not going mad on it. But of course it does drench your hair, doesn't it? And it needs stripping out if you're getting it dyed properly. So I'd gone through all of that fiasco. Cost a fortune, but it looked lovely. And then of course lockdown hit and none of the hairdressers are opening, and my hair grows like the Billy O. It's like weeds. I've got it from my dad. It just grows really, really fast, but because I've got quite a large splattering of grey everywhere, I had to resort to going back to box dyed, and now I'm just like, I can't be bothered going back to the hairdressers and spending all that time getting it all stripped and redone. So at the moment I'm box dyeing it, and yeah, it's a process. So I use that spray on stuff, you know, to cover the greys, which works really well. But if you don't brush it out properly at night, you end up getting it on your pillowcases, and that's not a nice thing to clean off. But anyway, enough about that. Again, rambling on. Let's get on to this glorious piece of work. So this is on a 14 count Ada, and it is in the colour lavender. And there we go. So what I have worked on is I worked on filling in everything at the bottom here and a little bit more here. So there you go, absolutely loving it as usual. I'm not quite at 40% yet, and I'm forcing myself. I was initially planning to So I've got another one that I'm wanting to start. It's called Ruby. It's in the same shooting star family of patterns by Carolyn Manning. But I initially had said to myself, no, I need to hit 50% before I start that one, thinking I was in the lower 40s. Turned out, no, I was in the high 20s, 20% completed. So I'm forcing myself to wait till I get to 40% before I start the new one. So I've got it all kitted up. There's the fabric I'm going to use. This is Blush. Again, it's 14 count Ada because I want them to be the same size. And there's my gorgeous DMC threads. I'm loving that colourway, and I can't wait to start it, but I'm going to be good. I'm waiting until I hit 40%. Okay, so there is one other thing I've just realised that I've worked on. And this is again one of my planned ones, so this is what I mean. I've stuck to my plan. And this is, sorry, I've got to put that fabric back before I lose it. This is my one I got from the Halloween edition, the 2021 Halloween edition of Just Cross Stitch. And it's Autumn Lane Stitchery and it's Current Mood. And I got a start on this. Now I'm using that Sea Witch Chromatic Alchemy again, some that was left over. And I started work on the cat, obviously. And I think that is looking great. So it's not complete yet, that cat. But I think that I've done enough for it to be recognisable as an animal, although at the moment it perhaps looks like it could be anything at the moment, but that needs a bit more filling out. But I think it looks great on this piece of fabric. And the only thing though is I'm going to have to change the colour of the wording at the bottom here, because obviously that's not really going to black is not going to show up on this, so I may just use ginger or whatever, you know, one of the colours, whichever I prefer. But yeah, so that's on there. I thought this was going to be quite a quick stitch, but it's actually, there's a ton of stitches in that, and it's not a quick stitch at all. But I'm still loving it. So right, that is now the last of the stitching I did. But I did do some purchases. I did buy some things. And I do have plans for the coming week and next weekend that I want to share with you. So my plan, as per the original plan, I've done my All Souls weekend there, and next weekend is supposed to be Sleepy Hollow. Now I can get rid of this one, which is Cryptid, because I am obviously doing that on the Fridays. And then this one is supposed to be a new start, which is one of my Prairie Moons, or Amethyst. So I don't know what I'm going to do about those last two, but one of the ones I'm supposed to be doing is Autumn by Cricket Collection. Well, the problem with that one is I'm struggling as to what to do with the threads, and I briefly mentioned this last week on Monday, because it's in block. So on October, up there, the letters are using a variegated silk, and on the August one I did, it's exactly the same. They use a variegated silk, but on Autumn it's block colours, lovely colours, and each letter is a different colour, and it's DMC colours. And I've seen Teresa Little Stitcher, she's done this one, and I think she's used the DMC and it looks absolutely stunning. But then I was wondering if I should do it in variegated colours that match, you know, where the base colour matches the colour that is supposed to be used. So I'm still toing and froing on that. I don't know what to do on that yet. So if I make a decision on that, I'll be working on that during the week. Or alternatively, I am going on a field trip on Saturday. I'm going to visit my brother who lives in North Wales, and I found out that one of my favourite needlework stores, not a local needlework store to me, although it probably is would be considered a local one if you live in America and the vastness of that, or Australia, or some other massive country that could swallow up the UK. But 15-20 minutes away from where my brother lives is Create Nostalgia, and they have an actual, they have an online presence, but they also have a shop front as well, and they're open on Saturday morning. So I thought I might do a little recce to there and have a look at fabrics and patterns, and, you know, possibly bankrupt myself. So I thought I might take the DMC threads for for autumn there and have a look at their wall of overdyes and kind of make a decision then, and then possibly I could start it on Sunday and shunt Sleepy Hollow to next weekend, which is when, sorry, the weekend after, which was when Cryptid was supposed to be done. So I'm still thinking about it. It's like a military plan going on here. I think I'm overthinking this far more than I am most of the things at work. But yeah, other than that, this week I might do, I'm planning on doing a stitch with me with Amethyst at some point, and also work on Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain, which is my Kathy Barrick piece. So those are my plans for the coming week. But my purchases, now I have done a few other purchases, but I'm not going to cover them here because they're not Halloweeny related. But I thought I would do the purchases and also show you a couple of other of the Halloween patterns that I've got kitted up at the moment. So this is going to be a little bit longer than my other ones, but you know, there we go. You're used to, for those who have been watching me for a while, you're used to ones that are epic over hour long ones, so you know. So this is the first one. It's another Quiltify Designs, and I've actually bought this, I don't know, for people who may watch Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery. He's looking to doing a black sampler for November. So I thought I would do this one. It's another Vierlanden, and it's another one that is in this, the crossbow motif. And I thought I would do this using black sulky. I'm especially looking forward to doing this one because that looks quite dense. But yeah, so this, okay, so let's say at the moment this potentially is the one I'm going to be doing. But I just love it. So it'll be my second Vierlanden or Vierlanden or however you pronounce it, and I do apologise for completely mispronouncing that. But yeah, this is the a massive contender. And then I also bought another Prairie Moon, and this is the house that Jack built. So I've seen somebody stitching this up and it looks brilliant. So there's that one. Now this isn't going to be for the one for November, but this is just one that I bought because I absolutely love. There are actually a couple of colours in that, it's not just black. And then the last one is one that I've wanted to buy for ages and ages and ages, and I kept telling myself I couldn't buy this one until I'd done Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. But then this weekend I could no longer stop myself from buying it. So there we go. It's Stacy Nash and it's Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. I just absolutely love that because, as it turns out, I absolutely love stitching houses. So there we go. That just speaks to my aesthetic 100%. Oh, hang on, we've got a visitor. Hello. My little baby Sasha, my little ninja cat, who drives everybody else up the wall by just pouncing on them all the time. So anyway, those were my 3 Halloween purchases. And then moving on to some of my other kitted Halloween-y type kitted patterns, and these are ones that if I change my mind I may end up subbing in and doing during the week. Now the first one is my one and only Mill Hills, and this is Moonstruck. Can you guess why I bought it? Can you guess? So yeah, so that's the first one, and I'm probably, just because it's the first time I'm doing it, I'm probably going to do it on the actual perforated paper. And it's got a little bird button there, and obviously it's got all the beads and everything. Then I've got a Owl Forrest embroidery one. Hello again. She's back. She's back. This one is the Baba Yaga. So there you go. So as per, this is fully kitted with the linen and the glorious threads. So this one may get worked on. The last week I may just do a free for all. I don't know yet. Sticking to plans make me itch. So then I have already done one by so this is the Little Stitcher. I bought a couple of patterns from her and so they're all kitted up. I'm using I tea dyed some 28 count platinum, and the two that I have are Erzsebet Bathory and the Headless Woman. Those are the two I have that I could potentially do. So they basically share pretty much the same threads as for the other pattern I've already completed. She's got some gorgeous ones, the Little Stitcher, in the same vein as this. So, but I'm not going to buy them until I have actually finished these three. Then I have Lindy Stitch's Dracula's Confession. I have some 28 count Murky Picture This Plus, which is the called for on this, and there it is. So I have this kitted up as well. This is using a mix of DMC and the called for. Then I have Hello from Liz Matthews, and this is one of, so this is the pattern where I accidentally bought two, like you do, and so it's one I'm giving away. If you go back to my last official Flosstube, during that, towards the end, I give the details of that, and the draw will be made. So you'd need to comment on that video if you want to be entered for it. I'll be drawing that towards the end of the month when I do my next proper Flosstube. Oh, I've got to sash it down here again. So this is Sleepy Hollow by Hello from Liz Matthews, and this is being done on a cream. Have got any others? Let me just have a quick peep for you. Oops, nearly had an avalanche. Ah, yes, there is another one. There is, oh, Washy by Raise the Roof. I have the buttons that go along with it, and I'm going to be doing that. Now this is by the Crafty Kitten. It's 32 count Belfast linen in the colourway Flagstone. So this is kind of like a greyy. Oh, that's not too bad, that actually. It's got little hints of maybe lavender, purpley as well. But I thought that would look good. So yeah. So this is this was fully kitted for me from the Nimble Fimble. So it was the required threads, the buttons and the pattern. So there we go, but not the fabric. So what are you wanting? Let me just pop this away so I don't lose the... So that was Ruby that just started growling at one of the other cats. Ruby! Ruby! Shh. Come here. Oh! There you go. There's my eldest, my little baby, Ruby. Sorry, you didn't expect that, did you? You go be free. Excuse me, 1 second. Okay, let me just check my bag of tricks, see if there's any other kitted ones. No, I've not got, this isn't fully kitted, but this is just one that I've been seeing people do Nora Corbett ones for, you know, what are they called? This is an actual Nora Corbett one, but the others she does as well, and I do know the one with all the fancy ladies and all of that stuff. Well, I saw this one and fell in love with it. So I'm looking to buy it's dark, I think it's dark chocolate or something along those lines. It's a Witch Out one, 1, 2, 3 stitch have it. So I'm probably at some point, maybe next year when I start this, I'll buy that. But yeah, so this comes with the beads. I got this from Art and Designs, an online store here in the I think they're just online. They may actually have a shop. They're based up in Scotland, so I'm not sure, but I've got quite a few things from them. They are, as with most of the, well, all of the stores I use here in the UK, they're very, very quick. So yeah, so that's that one. And I do have, I'm not going to do this in this video, but I do have a folder here of patterns, of a few patterns that, although they are Halloween ones, they're not kitted up. Although I will show you one that I absolutely love. There we go. So that is Plum Street, a Ghoul Tile Welcome. Yeah, so that'll be for another video. But yeah, so that's my plans. That's my stitching that I've done so far. That's a couple purchases I've made. And that's some of my kitted ones that potentially may get started. I might end up doing this wishy-washy one because I just love it, or possibly my Lindy Stitches one. But yeah, I'm absolutely really enjoying doing this stitching. I come home from work and it's, you know, do stuff that needs to be done, or do my chores and sort the cats out, then sit down for an hour or so in the evening and just do a bit of stitching, and it's just so relaxing. I've got another week of doing training, and then I'll be doing some training the week after. So it's I mean, I enjoy doing training, so it's, you know, it's not something that's stressing me out or anything, but it's hard work when you're doing a full day, and these are like sales type people who are, you know, hard faced, so you've got to really work hard to get them to engage when you're trying to tell them that they can't do something anymore that they've been used to doing for years and years. And trying to explain that it's not because I'm a bitch and I just like making their life difficult, that it's because, you know, there's government, you know, regulation and law that says they can't do it anymore. So it's, yeah, it's fun times, but, you know, I've been doing it for quite some time now, so it's, you know, just give me some Diet Coke and I'm ready to go. But anyway, I will leave it there. I will, you know, I hope that everybody's doing as well as they can do in the current circumstances, that you're all keeping safe and well, you and your family, and that, you know, this wonderful stitching community, and even if you're not part of the community, this wonderful stitching that has been a lifeline for me for the past just slightly over a year now. I think I started either the end of August or I think it was the end of August I started doing stitching, and it's yes, it overtook my life, but it needed to for a while, because the other things that were overtaking my life were not good things, and if I'd have allowed myself to dwell on them, which is probably what would have happened, it would not have been good. So stitching basically kept me, I'm not going to be so dramatic and say it kept me sane, but it helped me to, you know, stop from spiraling. So yeah, it is amazing, and it's something that I can see that I'm gonna have to, because I bought so bloody much. I'm certainly not gonna just let it all go to waste. So I can see I'm going to have to continue living to 100 odd just to get through everything, and I'm quite sure that there will be new patterns that I bought, because, you know, we all like the new things, don't we? I am in awe of these people who can do a no buy for a year. I was planning not to buy anything this month, and I ended up buying those 3 things, and even now I'm saying you will not buy anything else. But then Jen Lee is doing her whip parade, and it seems that we share a lot of the same taste, because a few of the things that I bought I saw from her Instagram post when she's doing her 40 under 40, and then next year she's going to be starting 222 new things. So yeah, I can see I'm going to be purchasing a lot more things, because we seem to have a very similar taste when it comes to stitching. But all that, this was supposed to be a sign off here. My love and respect goes out to everybody. Carry on doing what you need to do to keep safe and well. And I should see, I will see you, for anyone who's interested in the stitch with me. That'll be at some point this week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, because I'll be working from home, so it'll be easier to set everything up to do that. And if not, I'll be back next Monday to give you a rundown of what I've done this week and at the weekend. So I will see you then. Bye.